think. I get it through aroma.
Hello, this is Jeff, the Kaplan man, and I am really excited about Young Living essential oils. One of my favorite products is lavender oil. When I first started doing Young Living, my favorite oil was lavender because I believed that it was going to help me sleep, because I've always had a history of not being able to sleep very well, and lavender oil to me was going to really solve that problem. Well, it did help me a lot, and I found out so many things about lavender oil when I was doing home health nursing that it was amazing to me. One of them was the fact that lavender oil, as we know, is very relaxing, calming, and soothing, and but it is what we call adaptogenic. Now, I don't know if that's FDA compliant or not, but I'll just say it promotes adaptogenesis, geneticity, however you want to say it. But for example, I had a patient one time I was seeing in home health, and he was in this town called Lakeport, which is way out in the boondocks in Florida. It's around Lake Okeechobee. And so this guy just had a surgery, he had bypass surgery, and he was on 3 blood pressure pills. And, you know, having a nursing background, you'll probably hear me talking a lot about medications and, you know, the oils interact with the medications. Well, anyway, I came out there, and this guy just took his 9 o'clocks. He had 3 blood pressure medications plus other medications. And a lot of times when people take their pills, they feel lousy because the pills make them feel really bad. I haven't really run into anybody that says, oh man, I feel so great after taking all these pills. No, it's the opposite. I mean, they feel horrible. Well, this guy was feeling really weak and dizzy, and I checked his vital signs, and his heart rate was 37, and his blood pressure was like 80 over 50. I don't know if you know anything about heart rate, but 37 is pretty horrible. Normal heart rate is considered to be 60 to 100. I mean, lower heart rates are good, but the only people that have heart rate of 37 are super athletes. And so anyway, this guy had too low a pressure, because pressure is how the heart moves the blood. And of course, that's controversial now too, because there was a cardiologist says that the heart can't possibly pump blood throughout all 60 to 100,000 miles worth of blood vessels. Well, anyway, that's another story. I will just say this, that the lower the blood pressure, the slower your blood will move. And so when your blood moves slower, you get less oxygen uptake into your cells. And when you get less oxygen into your cells, you feel tired and you feel weak. And of course, if the blood pressure goes too low, then your blood pressure, well, you know, your heart rate will go up to counterbalance the drop in blood pressure. Well, the blood pressure pills not only reduce heart rate by widening the arteries, we call that vasodilatation, they also slow down heart rate. So guess what happens? You feel tired, you feel weak, and you have a lot of other side effects. You get swelling in your ankles, your feet, and also because of lack of blood flow through your brain, you have less oxygen, and now you either get headaches or you also feel depressed. And also because there's slowed down blood flow through your kidneys start not working as well. So that's not good. So anyway, this guy was feeling pretty lousy, and so I called the paramedics because heart rate of 37, blood pressure 80 over 50, that's a medical emergency. So the paramedics got there within 3 minutes. They were really good, and they hooked him up to the heart monitor. Oh, by the way, while we were waiting, I put 2 drops of lavender oil on his hands. And I tell you, I love lavender oil. Love it, love it, love it. And this is Young Living lavender oil. This is the real McCoy. The lavender oil you buy in a health food store is really, really cheap, El Cheapo, adulterated, extended, not real stuff. This is the real McCoy. This is the real deal. Lavender oil. You want to have this in your pocket, in your purse, in your emergency, wherever. This is one of the greatest emergency medicines, or whatever you want to call it, around. Okay, so anyway, I'm with this guy, put 2 drops of lavender oil in his hands. He goes, "What's this?" He was really uptight, so uptight. I said, "It's lavender oil, help you relax a little bit." "Okay." He was so uptight, so upset and all that. Anyway, the paramedics got there and hooked him up to the heart monitor. And this was like a minute and a half or so after I put the lavender oil on him. His heart rate was 61 and his blood pressure was up to over 90/60 within like less than 2 minutes. And maybe it was a coincidence, but I don't think so. That's the only thing that I did. And I said, "How do you feel?" "I feel better, thank you." Because why did he feel so bad in the first place? Because he took 3 blood pressure pills. You take 3 blood pressure pills, what do? They lower your blood pressure, lower your blood pressure, lower your blood pressure, and they also lower your heart rate. I mean, if I did that, I'd feel like a piece of you-know-what. So, but, most people think of lavender oil as something that would relax you and lower your blood pressure and like, blood pressure pills. No, it doesn't, because lavender oil is an essential oil, and essential oils, if they're not adulterated and they're, not full of pesticides and herbicides and GMO, and they're totally, thoroughly organic, beyond organic, like this brand I have here. If you got oils like lavender oil, they are what we call adaptogenic, which simply means they balance you. If your blood pressure is too low and you put lavender oil on your arm or on your face or anywhere, or even if you breathe it, it's not going to drop your blood pressure even lower. It's not a drug. I've had an aromatherapist say, "Oils are drugs." No, they're not drugs. Oils are oils. They're the lifeblood of the plant. But lavender oil, in this case, brought his blood pressure up, and it also raised his heart rate. Why? Because that's what the body needed. Because the oils go in there, and they balance you. They do what needs to be done. And that's just one example. Let me tell you another one. I've already been on here for 7 minutes, so I'm going to really cut this off. But I could talk all day about lavender oil. This is one of the greatest first aid, any oil, whatever you want to call this thing. So I was in massage school a long time ago. You can see by my white hair that, that was a really long time ago. So I'm in there and I'm massaging and, also an RN. So I didn't have my blood pressure cuff. I didn't have a stethoscope. So anyway, this 18-year-old girl who was in the class, nice looking girl too. But so anyway, she had chest pain. I was going, man, this is crazy. So they're calling, Jeff, come here, help us, So I get over there. I don't have a blood pressure cuff, no stethoscope. All I have is a bottle of lavender oil in my pocket because lavender oil helps you relax. A lot of people use it for a massage. So I said, "Call 911 right now." So they called 911. So 911 got there. And so while we were waiting, I said, "Here, put a couple drops of this lavender oil in your chest where it's hurting." So she took the bottle of lavender oil. I didn't put it on her. I was being Mr. Gentleman. She put on herself. And so the paramedics got there. They took her away and took her to the hospital. Southwest Regional. That's when that hospital was still, here. So I didn't see this girl until 5 days later, the following week. She came home. She was in the hospital on a nitroglycerin drip. That's for chest pain. Nitroglycerin is a vasodilator. That means that it opens up the lumen or the inside of your arteries to lower blood pressure. So, nitroglycerin is gunpowder, by the way, and it also gives you a horrible headache. That's when it's, working right. So anyway, she came up to me and gave me a big squeeze and a hug and said, "This lavender oil, this made me feel much better than anything they did in the hospital." And so, that's just one aspect. And I could tell you so many other stories about lavender oil. I will tell you this, though. Speaking about nursing, I have a friend who lives up in Virginia Beach right now. And she and I worked in the same agency. And she was working in this little town called Immokalee, Florida. Immokalee is a place where a lot of people go pick fruit and stuff like that. And they have great produce stand. It's a market, farmer's market. So she was driving home from Immokalee. She saw a patient in Immokalee. And she said that she had some lavender oil, so she was feeling stressed out, so she just started rubbing lavender oil on her arm. And she was just driving with her arm hanging out the window. She said she got so sleepy, she could barely make it home. Because lavender oil, really relaxes your central nervous system because it has a couple of compounds in there, aldehydes and esters, which are very relaxing in the central nervous system. Well, lavender oil, I think they've discovered between 200 and 400 different compounds. Oh, I've already gone 10 minutes here, so we'll cut us off real quick. Anyway, I'll say one more thing. We had a Bible study. Here I am. I just can't stop myself here. I'm just full of lavender oil. But we had a Bible study over at our house one time, and we had a couple come over. Well, actually, we had several people come over, and we had lavender oil diffusing. And we love our diffuser. Well, guess what happens when you're diffusing oils? You start breathing the oils. So we were diffusing lavender oil, and so this guy came in, and he was going, oh, wow, I feel so relaxing here. Wow, it smells so good. And so he laid down on the sofa right near the front door. He laid down, took a nap right there. He wasn't even here 5 minutes, and he laid down, took a nap. So anyway, lavender oil is fantastic, and I highly recommend it to anybody to try it, to use it. If you have it, use it. I mean, I could go on and on about this oil. This is a phenomenal oil. This is one of the greatest. Oh, I love it. So anyway, we'll be talking more later. I'm going to be talking about peppermint oil tomorrow. So you have a great evening and a great afternoon and a great morning. Sleep great. Put some lavender oil on your pillow. Breathe it. Put in your diffuser. Just use it. Whatever your problem is or challenge, whatever it is, use lavender oil. Thank you so much for listening. I'll be talking to you later. Thank you.